Hi guys, Coach Laura here. Welcome to our 4-day sneak peek. I am so excited to share with you all my story today and for you all to hear the rest of our team stories as well. So you're gonna have to excuse me. I'm so finished up my yoga and I'm a little sweaty. So if you just want to look past that, I would really greatly appreciate it. A little bit of a hot mess here in our spare room, and it's just kind of a mess behind me. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. So first of all, I've been a coach since November 2013. It's been a slow start for me. I wasn't looking to go at a fast pace at all. I kind of waded in and just took my time with it. I am a daughter of 3. I've been engaged before. I was a barista for 4 years. I have owned my own house for a small period of time and been a waitress, a best friend for many years, and I'm finally coming to that spot in my life where I'm actually starting to look on the bright side of things and look for the positive. And so I'm going to go into that in a little bit later, but first of all, I just want to share with you guys, kind of the ins and outs and the details about how I got to where I am today and stumbling upon the coaching opportunity. So I'm going to go all the way back to when I was about 18 years old and just graduated from high school. This was, for me, a huge monumental moment. I was really excited. I was never one to get, straight A's or anything in high school. I was kind of more there to socialize, and I was kind of a slacker when it came to that sort of thing. So I was one of those people that was just ready to, I kind of always wanted to follow my dad's footsteps. He was the same way when it came to grades and that sort of thing, and just getting C's and B's and to get by. And he, he always put, us girls ahead of everything else. So he's actually been at the same job since he was 18 years old. So of course I wanted to, he takes a lot of pride in that, and I took a lot of pride in that too. So I was really excited to do that for myself and to just apply myself within a job. So that was what I did after I graduated high school. I ended up not going to college or anything. I chose the career path at the time, or what I thought I was, and started applying for jobs, and I got a job at a local coffee shop, drive-through coffee shop, and I was a barista at the time. So what started there, I was, just had anticipated on working there for a year or so. I ended up staying there for 4 years. So some of you might be able to relate to that, staying in a job that you didn't really anticipate to stay that long there at. So I kind of started to, cross things off of my adult bucket list, I guess we'll call it. I always saw myself as settling down in the small town that I live in currently, living just that, easy lifestyle where I hung around with my same friends, and I was just going to have a job, and I was going to have kids and a dog and a house and all these things. So I had the job, I was a barista, and then I met a guy about a year later, and things started to really transform from there. I actually had been in a pretty heavy party phase at that point in my life. All of my classmates had graduated, and I just started to feel like somebody that I wasn't. So I wanted to take myself out of that situation once me and my ex started dating. So I kind of used that as my excuse and just kind of pushed my old friends away for a really long time there. And and things kind of started to take a turn for the better or worse, whatever you want to call it. And I have my notes here, but it seemed like a very trialing time for me. My ex-boyfriend was about 6 months down the road. Things started to come up, and he actually ended up being an alcoholic, and he's very verbally harsh on me. It was kind of the way that he had been brought up, and so that just kind of spewed on over into our relationship. It was and he was somebody who was very jealous and protective and controlling. And so all of that started going on into my life, and I started to feel like I just lost all control. I didn't feel like I knew who I was. I always listened to him because that was just what I had done for so many years with my dad, just listen to what he said. And he suggested, like, stay at your job. It's a really safe job. You can work your way up there and that sort of thing. And even though it just wasn't what I wanted, and I really resented him for that. So all of these things started to come into play within the first year, 6 months that we were together, and it just kind of continued from there. And I really now, looking back on that point in my life, I'm thankful because I know now what I don't want in life. But at the time, it was very I was very relentless, or I was very unforgiving at that time. Sorry. So finally, after that point in my life, I just became very negative. I was very burnt out when it came to, always waiting on somebody else. It felt like to me, even though that wasn't really the situation, it was just more, I was tired of my job. I wanted to do more within my life, and I just felt stuck. And I didn't have time for my family. I never made it to family events, it felt like, anymore, except kind of for Christmas. I would get Christmas and Christmas Eve off. Once I was there for 2 years as a barista, so I didn't for the first couple of years. And I really started to miss these events and going to these things, and not being called in sick for work. I used to wake up at 2:30 in the morning, and I was always just stressed. So finally, things just kind of had come to a halt when it came to my relationship, and being a barista and everything. It just kind of collapsed all in one day, it felt like. So me and what then was my fiance, and we had just bought in a house and gotten engaged and all these things. We called it off. It was just not working for either one of us, and we knew it. So that was something that I had known for 3 years, and just day in and day out talking to him and his parents, and so that world just kind of crumbled all in one night, it seemed like. And it was really, really depressing time for me, because I just felt lost. I didn't feel like I knew where I wanted to be or go, or what I wanted to do. I knew. So I stayed at my barista job for a while. I started to really put my self within my faith, and started following my heart and God's guidance for me. I started to losing my train of thought here, guys. But I started to do the things that I wanted to do for myself, that I felt like in that relationship I just felt like I couldn't. So I started to pick up working out, and I've had that support from my sister. I didn't really have that for those 3 years. And I started to work out, and I started to kind of eat healthy there for a while. I went on the FDA or some website, and when I thought I was eating clean, it's still, later, years down the road, I realized now, after trying a 21-day fix, I feel like I have a lot bigger grasp on that than I did back then. So I kind of started dipping into the health and fitness world. Did P90X. I would just alternate that in with my sister. And then I actually ended up going a little too heavy there and blew out my sciatica down to my heel. So I kind of hit a halt there as well. But, after that, though, I quit my job as a barista and started going to school full time. I got a lot of questions from my family and people in my life, like, what are you going to do? So I was like, I don't know, I guess I'll go to community college. And that was when I started to go to school for dental hygiene. That was something that I had just, sitting in the back of my mind for a really long time. And my sister was going to school is going to school to be a dentist, so I thought, hey, I'll just work with her when I get older. So just trying to figure out my place in life for a really long time there. It seemed like a long time. And I started talking with one of my good friends now, and he asked, like, well, you don't seem like that type of person. He kind of, broke down all my emotional barriers and walls I kind of just had closed up to myself after me and my ex had broken up, and not really talk about it with a lot of people. So this was somebody that definitely blew down those brick walls and helped me in believing in myself again. So he suggested, well, what is it that you used to enjoy? And I said, well, health and fitness. So, and I had gone previously for 2 days to personal training school, and then decided that it just wasn't for me at the time. So I went back and did a 6-month course as a personal trainer, and got my diploma and everything, graduated, met some awesome people along the way, and I still, and I picked up a waitressing job as well, since it wasn't too demanding hours-wise, so I was doing that on the side so I could pay for rent and that sort of thing. And I realized, though, that after I graduated from personal training school, I realized that I just didn't want to be back in that same position as I was when I was a barista. So always be getting called in when somebody was sick, or getting up at 4:15 in the morning. I'm not a morning person, or that early of a morning person. It's just not my cup of tea. And just all these factors that really had bundled up into one, that I knew after going through those hard times with my ex, and not having a really good support system for a long time, and being in a crummy job, I was just ready for more. I wanted more. And so I kept my one foot out the doors as I was waitressing at the time, and kept looking for something on Craigslist. And I kept seeing this one ad a few times, and I finally reached out in email and got a hold of my coach now, Christy Curtis. And we talked a couple times on the phone, and she asked me, well, how much, 9 out of 10, or I'm sorry, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much is this, appeal to you? And I said, well, a 9. I really want to do this. And so I signed up the next day to become a Beachbody coach. And so I was pretty pumped, even though I was so scared to start helping people within their health and fitness, because I felt like I was still really negative. I focused on the wrong things in life, and it left me very stressed and very anxious, and a lot of the times watching Netflix at the end of the day, so feeling pretty depressed or down. And so I felt like I had a lot of work to do on myself before helping others, or that's what I felt like, at least. But with the community of the Epic Dream Team and them helping me and being so supportive, I started to just slowly break out of my shell, and through personal development, really being able to, and personal development is kind of like, one of the coaches describes it as a workout for your mind. It conditions your mind, it helps you, and it's so true. I started to regain confidence and self-esteem, and just feel good within myself again, kind of to where a point where I hadn't really felt that way when I was younger. Even just feeling comfortable in my own skin, and being on a call and being sweaty and not caring anymore. So stuff like that, and just realizing that having that support system around me was so critical. That was one of my biggest factors when it came to saying yes to being a full-time coach, was that the team was so supportive, and when it came to living a healthy lifestyle, and just wanting to live your life by design. So that to me meant that I got to set my own hours, actually have times throughout the day where I could, have lunch at this hour, like actually legitimately have a lunch hour. I hadn't had that as a barista or a waitress. Being able to just snack whenever I pleased. Like, that was huge for me. And these were things that I had just started to hear for so long, that that's just how it is, that's how it is. And I started to accept that. I accepted that. And so it was really hard to break down this. So I started having to break down those walls and those barriers again, and kind of readjust to living my life by design. Because it was something that I had basically given up on. And I was so nervous to start helping others. My best friend, like I said before, he was the one who kind of, steered me into that path of personal training. He, believed me from day one that I could still help others during that. And, Christy, she's a prime example. All of us coaches, we all work on ourselves while helping other people. So it's a journey, and everybody's on it together. And that's, it's a community. And that's something that I just absolutely love about our team and being a coach, is that you're constantly learning and you're constantly changing and growing into somebody that you want to be. So from there, that's kind of been my life in a nutshell. I really hope that helps you guys. And from there, sorry, I was going to say, on the nutrition and fitness side of things, I've been able to actually just schedule out my workout time and get 4 or 5 or 6 workouts in every single week, and just having that variety when it comes to working out. I know a lot of my friends used to ask, well, when are you going to train me? Or when after I graduated from being a personal trainer. And I knew that I just didn't want to sit there and create workouts all the time. So now we have that tool of, P90X, Insanity, T25, 21 Day Fix. All of that variety is already available to us. So I don't have to sit down and carve out time at the end of my day to create a workout. It's already provided for me and for my customers and my friends and my family, and I can just share that with them as I go. So I absolutely love that. And it's teams of people that create these workouts. So they're so dynamic, they're so diverse. So you're really getting in the best for your body. And same with our nutrition. I've been following a 21 Day Fix plan for over a year, give or take, some cheats and extra carbs here every once in a while, but I follow it. I love the way it makes me feel. I no longer am always, eating extra cheese. I'm a huge cheese lover. I could eat that. I'll put that on everything. Chocolate. I love chocolate. And I was talking about it earlier today with a friend, and just saying how I just want chocolate, and more chocolate. But it keeps me on point and eating more vegetables. And with my Shakeology, I just feel like I have less of those cravings now than ever before in my life. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you tuning in, and please enjoy the rest of the week.